What's up, everybody? So if you've been following the build the last couple of days, you know I just downloaded the stock file on the E46. I sent that over to VF Engineering. Now they're gonna send it back to me once it's all modified and tuned. Once we get it here, we're gonna put it in the car and get it running. But in the meanwhile, I'm gonna show you guys how to switch out the injectors on the E46. It's not an easy task. There's a little trick involved getting the clips off, so let me show you guys how to do that. Okay guys, so I'm going to show you a quick tip on how to disconnect the injector rail here. The first thing is getting these little clips removed. This is the hardest part probably of this whole job. As you can see, there's a little wire clip there, very difficult to get to. What you can do there is you take a very thin screwdriver like I got here. We're going to stick it right there and just kind of pull it over. It's very hard for you guys to see, but basically there's a locking tab here. As long as we get this cable over that locking tab, we'll be all right. Maybe we'll pull it a little bit farther, and then we got to pull the one on the other side. Once we pull that one out, we can release the rail. The trickiest part about this is that sometimes you pull this one and it pops off and you got to do it all over again. But if you push it down like I just did on that side, it should be fairly easy. Like this one here. This is probably the hardest one between this one and number 4 because of the angle and the space involved. Once we get that there, you give it a little, you hold it there, and you can pull on the plug. It's a big rail, so you'll pull one by one. Let me try to pull this one and see if I can get it off while I put the camera down here. So there it was. Once I had the first one here opened, see it fell back in its guide, but I had it off to the side where the clip is at. And then I kept the other one open here. I was able to pull with one hand and the other. Sometimes it takes 2 guys to do it, but if you get this over that clip, you'll be all right. And then you pull the other one, and you should be able to tug on this rail and it comes off. And do that to each single one. It gets harder as you go down the line. And so once you got all those clips removed, you should be able to pretty much pull the whole rail out. This electrical components here. I also pulled the solenoid plug here for the intake cam position on the vinyls. Once this is out of the way, we can tie this down. That was the hardest part of the job. The next step is going to be to remove a couple bolts that hold the injector rail here. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now remember, yours might look a little different on this. Once we get these 4, 2 on the bottom down there and 2 on the bottom here, once we get those 4 screws off, we'll be able to release the injector rail. So this thing will pop off complete and come out with the injectors. Or you can release these little clips that hold the injector here. These, see how it's moving? If we can either take all 6 of those off and pull the rail off and pull one injector out at a time, or we can pull the whole assembly together with the injectors. And then, okay, so now to remove the clip that goes from the injector to the fuel rail, this is very simple. All you need is 2 tools. Here we have a magnet screwdriver. It's a screwdriver with a magnet on the other end, and here we have a larger magnet. So first thing to do is we'll stick the large magnet on the clip here. So as you can see, there it is. It's on the clip. So now all we have to do is stick our little screwdriver down in the clip and just pop it off. And that way, when we pop it off, the clip doesn't go flying. So now I got all the clips off with these 2 tools. Honestly, it took me less than 10 seconds to get it off. Stick the magnet on the clip, pop it off with the screwdriver. You won't lose it. This is a pretty large instrument. Really handy tip, so remember that. Now we got everything removed. All the bolts there, all the clips, we should be able to pull the injector fuel rail off. First thing is we took the Schrader valve off of here. That'll allow us to make sure we don't have no fuel in there. Make sure to have some glasses on if you're gonna do this. So you give it a little hit on the tip. Luckily mine doesn't have any fuel pressure right now, so we're good. Some of these will have some pressure and it'll spit a little bit of fuel, but that's just so you can take these off without getting sprayed or making too much of a mess. But let's see, we should be able to pull them out here. They are tight, they should be tight, so it takes a little bit of work, but there it is. And there goes the fuel. This is gonna happen, but whatever, just be careful, don't light anything up here around here. I think I got one more injector in the back right there that's holding. There it is, all the injectors are off. All right, so we got them all freed up right there. As you can see, I got some 330 injectors here by the color. This one here I had to replace because it failed on me. One of them wasn't working, so I went back to the stock one. But at the end of the day, they're pretty similar. Some of these will be missing the O-ring. They're probably stuck in the fuel rail here, so make sure to get all those out. Once we get them all out, we'll put the new ones in. So let me get them all out. It's pretty simple, just pull them out one at a time, get them all replaced. So I know everybody's gonna ask this question: is the 330 injector better than the 328? I don't really know, but I've never had fueling issues. I think I've had enough fuel. But if you look very, very closely, the 330 on the right hand side has a bigger port than the 328 on the left hand side. Now I'm going to show you the ones that come with the VF engineering kit. But again, these perform pretty good for me for many years, probably better. Never had a fueling issue, had enough fuel. Okay, so the difference between the 330 injector here and the VF engineering on the right hand side is the tip. As you can see, the 330 has a bigger diameter on the 2 ports, but the VF has 4 ports. Maybe it's a dual stage kind of thing, or it just flows faster on the 4 ports versus the 2. Not too sure, but that's what comes with it. So we're gonna run it. So to install these, we're just gonna put a little bit of oil on the O-ring, just a little bit on the front and the back. Get these slammed in there and put everything back together. Pretty much the reverse project of the rest. Okay, everybody, so now we got the injectors all installed except for the last one. I'm gonna show you a quick little video on how to do that, just in case you've never done it. Here I got the dipstick. Take a little bit of oil from there and basically just put it on the tip of the O-ring here. If you've never done this before, it's not too difficult. Just like I said, put a little bit of oil around the edge. That's gonna make it slide in a bit smoother. Once you got that there, you can just pretty much drop it in and just kind of wiggle it in, and you'll feel it bottom out. That's it. Now we're gonna put a little bit of oil on all the top O-rings, and then we should be able to slip the fuel rail back on, put the screws back on, then put the connectors on, and that's about it. So that's it for tonight. We got the injectors installed. Last piece to do is just to slap in the connectors here. But before we do that, I'm gonna turn the key on, let the fuel pump run, and build up some pressure. If everything is good, we won't have any leaks. Because if we have to put this on now and then we take it back off for some leaks, it's more work. So let's just make sure nothing's going on there. If everything's good, we'll put it back together. So if you guys like this video, you like the content, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. Any comments, go ahead and write it on the bottom. I'll try to answer as many as I can. But remember, everybody, if you keep liking them and supporting the channel, I'll keep coming up with videos like this, and all your feedback is appreciated.
I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright.